Hey, what's up, ladies and gentlemen? Sean with Blue Ridge Silverhound. Hope everyone's having a great evening. I come well prepared for this video, and today we are going to be talking about. Oh boy. Oh. This. It used to be a safe thing to just carry around, but I think, this is probably the dirtiest thing that you'll ever see. You'll probably want to lick the floor of a restroom before you want to touch these. More to come. All right, so today on this video, I'm going to talk about probably one of the most unconventional things ever in the history of my channel, and that's simply having to deal with, paper money. It's always been a part of our lifestyle. And for this video, I actually have a special guest. She's gonna be off camera. And it's my wonderful wife who elected, she's so brave, to be a part of this dirty video. She comes from the healthcare industry. So even she probably hasn't really thought about money and its impact on a clean society. It's a different world we live in these days. And I don't know.
Yeah, I haven't really thought about it up until a couple of weeks ago. When
we had a chat about it this evening. I say, hey, I'm going to do this video discussing how dirty these things really are. And we've taken for granted, when we go and, we buy a cup of coffee in the morning or, anywhere where we have to spend money. We take it out of our wallet, our purse, and, we just go ahead and pass it from one person to the other. They put in a cash register. It sits there in a little hot box for, maybe about 10 minutes before it gets passed on to the next person. And we don't really think about where these dollar bills, 5s, 10s, 20s have really gone to.
Yeah, we haven't really traced them to find out where they go and who handles them and if they have cleaned themselves appropriately after
clean themselves appropriately, right? Like after using the bathroom and then having to pay for their dinner at a restaurant.
So
with cash.
That's disgusting.
Yeah. Well, it's a different world, when dogs bark in the video. Yeah, you heard that right. And I don't know. I kind of feel like we're going. I don't know if you guys seen the movie Demolition Man, where Sylvester Stallone wakes up after a cryogenic freeze, and much later in the future, it comes to find out that the future is very dull, boring, and very sanitary. And the number one restaurant chain is Taco Bell, right? It's a high-end restaurant all of a sudden. But yeah, and people are having sex with virtual headgear and all this other crap.
Yeah.
So, anyways, the real question is, would you crumble this dollar bill and stick it in your mouth? And especially today, would you even attempt that?
Absolutely no.
Yeah, you're pretty much playing a little bit of Russian roulette, only minus the other device. But we're going to talk about how you could kind of sanitize these. Now, the big question is, and probably a lot of you are going to ask yourself, is why mess with paper money anymore? Just people will use debit and credit cards, okay, which by themselves have their own issues when it comes to cleanliness. We continually use the same card over and over again without the even mention of even sanitizing or cleaning them. You put them into the chip reader at every little...
And you put your pin in.
You press the same buttons that everybody else has pressed after they've done, pick their nose.
Out with the same hand.
Oh boy.
And it goes in your wallet.
And it goes in your wallet.
Time to clean those.
Or it gets, it gets put into your pants, and your pant pocket is stuck to your leg after working at the construction site for 12 hours.
Disgusting.
So, you guys have ever been to a store and someone hands you back change and one of the bills is oddly wet and sweaty? There's got to be at least one instance where everyone has done that. I know
disgusting.
I've had a few of them, especially when I lived in Florida. It was a hotbed of just, now that I think about it, it's just a hotbed of bacteria and just grossness. And to think
Florida's not bad.
it's not bad, but
Money.
also keep this in mind. You know, back in the 80s at the strip clubs when, you know, the dancers would prompt their guests to crumple up the money and put it into the dancers' mouths. It doesn't seem like such a great idea anymore.
Hey, maybe we should have someone swab a dollar bill and find out what we can get.
That would be disgusting. Well, the thing is, you know,
It's been
recently
done.
is that they'll lick the bill and then slap it onto the dancer. So that's
disgusting.
that's equally gross. So in this video, okay, we're going to talk about why it might be important for the first time in life to actually go above and beyond and actually do a little cleansing, a little bit of sanitation of your money. Okay, there's going to be a small percentage of us that, for whatever reason, we still want the paper money. Okay, it's a tangible asset. You have it in your hand. You know, if you have $100 in your hand, you're much less likely to want to spend it. Okay, it's a mental thing. Okay, whereas if it's on a credit card or a debit card, oh yeah, spend it all day long, as if it's like an endless stream of water. You know, but people, for whatever reason, still like using cash. I know we used cash for a while as a way of budgeting. Okay, we put them in envelopes and, you know, we don't think any worse of it. So in this particular video, for what it's worth, I'm going to demonstrate a little way that you could clean, clean money. It sounds ridiculous just talking about it, but, you know, it might be actually a good idea. For the other 99% of you that are watching that actually use Venmo, Apple Pay, debit credit cards, keep in mind, clean your cards as well using like antiseptic wipes and all that great stuff.
Alcohol pads.
Alcohol pads, you know, even dumping, you know, some of the good old golden grain alcohol on there, and you'd be in good shape.
Go Venmo.
Go Venmo. Yeah, my wife actually paid for an item on a yard sale site with Venmo, and she told the lady, was it a couple bucks?
Yeah, it was only $2, and I'm like, I'm gonna Venmo you.
I'm gonna Venmo you $2.
I don't want to even touch money right now.
Yeah, some of you are probably thinking, you know what? I've been to a 7-Eleven or a Circle K and have physically put 89 cents on a debit card, and people thought I was silly for doing that, for buying a soda. Now, you know, we're Venmoing $2 through a yard sale site, and it's like acceptable in today's society.
It is?
So anyways, go ahead and check this out. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a beautiful ceramic dish is what we're going to use for this exercise. Now, there's a couple different ways that you could go about doing this, okay? Some would say that, you know, let's skip all the formalities. Let's just go ahead and dump some alcohol on here. It could be rubbing alcohol. You could do that if you have an extraneous amount of it. You can also use actual alcohol that people drink. As long as it's like, say, 120 proof, you'll be fine. It has to be, what, 60% alcohol content, or?
120 proof is 60% alcohol. And the only grain alcohol that you could use other than isopropyl alcohol to clean your hands is Everclear.
Everclear? Okay. And some of you probably already know that people are using Everclear to make their own hand sanitizer. Ha-ha! See, this is an educational channel. But anyways, and you add your own essential oils, peppermint, you know, and then we spray it on your hand. It smells like Listerine, so that's cool. Yeah, the plug was not intended at all. But anyways, what I'm going to use, I got boiling hot water, okay? And then we're also going to use some detergent, okay? It can either be like dish soap or a laundry detergent, okay? It's got to be dye-free, paraben-free, fragrance-free. I don't know. So we're going to do just a little bit because this stuff foams up pretty quickly. We're going to go ahead and pour a little bit of water on there.
Now, did you test this out ahead of time?
Yes.
Awesome. Don't burn yourself, please.
Oh, believe me, the thought never crossed my mind.
No ER visits for us.
Nope. Because we we only have $1 for this exercise. We don't have hundreds and thousands and everything like that. So as you can see, you know, I just simply stirred it a little bit. You have this hot water, and then, oh God, you can't take me anywhere. I just dropped our subject note. So we're gonna go ahead and put the dollar in there and we're going to let it soak. Okay, we're going to allow some of the, yeah, this seems stupid and silly, but it's come to this for everybody's safety. Plus, it's also a little bit of entertainment value. So we're going to do that. The cool thing about this particular exercise is it's not going to damage the bill at all. It's going to be about the same as if you actually left this dollar in your pocket before you went and washed it in, out in your laundry. So as you can see, it's just soaking and setting. Let it set for, a good probably minute or so. And the hot water in conjunction with the detergent will take care of a lot of the crap that's on this note. And it doesn't matter how new or old the note is, okay, this does an effective job. Short of like actually using, some of the strong chemical cleaners and all that stuff. You try, don't use that stuff the best that you can. Also some of the stronger stuff like hardware grade acetone seems like a great idea. I mean, it does strip PVC off of things. PVC is kind of like a weird chemically oil-based type of stuff that you guys have probably smelled on a shower curtain, but yeah, it's strong. But acetone kicks that stuff really quick, but it's also a chemical. It's very dangerous too. Wear gloves. I couldn't stress that enough. If you're able to find them out there, I know a lot of places are sold out, but this thing is ready to go. So what you can do is simply rinse this off to get some of the detergent off. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and do that right there. Again, this all seems silly, and probably 6 months ago, no one would ever have guessed that this would be even a thing. But paper towel, put that in there. Now, we just have one note. You could probably slip out maybe 3 or 4 notes on this one sheet of paper towel. But, let it dry. Hand dry. So we did this, and as you guys know, we're Blue Ridge Silverhound. Okay, we talk about collectible coins and currency. So, of course, I got to throw in my 2 cents on how this would impact value. All right, because some of us actually collect notes. They collect fancy serial numbers. They collect rare errors. Star notes are a thing as well. Do we still have the image of the note on there?
Yes.
Cool.
You're good to go.
All right, so I just want to make sure that we're still good. So you can air dry this out. Now, here's a couple things that happens when you're actually cleaning a note like this. When these things are produced from the Bureau of Engraving and Printing, okay, everything on here is embossed. Okay, by no fault of its own, because that's the way the printing presses, when they press on the actual subject sheets, will leave an impression of every single design and device on the note. So that's what adds a little bit to the collectability, especially for higher grade notes. Things like the serial number are going to have an embossment. So when you clean the note, what it does is actually swells up the fibers of the actual note paper, and it'll actually destroy the embossing. So right off the bat, a note that was once probably crisp, uncirculated, let's say a brand new fresh dollar bill straight out of a BEP pack, you probably don't want to do that because they're pretty sanitary as is. But if you took that note and cleaned it like I did, you would have destroyed the embossing. You wouldn't be able to, for instance, turn this in and grade it through a third-party grading site like PCGS Currency or PMG, because they are going to notate that this paper has been compromised, the embossing is gone. All right, usually the embossing will show up on the opposite side of the note of where the strongest areas of pressure were for that particular detail, like the serial numbers will show through as embossing on the reverse side of the note. So once that's gone, it kind of kills the paper quality, which is what they usually use on paper note grading. So, and in addition, if you have a note that has a fancy serial number or something to that effect, and you do this method, whether you use the safest method or something that's a little bit more harsh with the cleaners, that's also going to affect the value as well. Now, we live in a different time with everything going on with this global event that's happening all around the world, and it's affecting the way that people view various basic items that we've taken for granted and just felt free to touch without thinking about the ramifications of whether or not there is bacteria or something on the note that could affect our health. Now it's important, and that's why I did this video. So, with that being said, in conclusion, I want to thank everyone for joining on this video. I'm your host, Sean, with Blue Ridge Silly Hound. Yeah, this video is silly, but no, it's Blue Ridge Silver Hound. As always, Coinaholics, we are discovering together. Thank you for joining me on this adventure of cleaning money. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Take care.